Hello friends, in this video let us discuss previous year electronic science paper which was conducted by UGCNET in the year June 2019. Paper consisted of 100 questions. In this video I am going to discuss question number 26 to question number 50. In my previous video I have discussed question number 1 to question number 25. If you have not watched that video, links are given in the description. Also you can click on I button. 26th question, which one of the following are advantages of laser over LED? We know that laser stands for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation and LED stands for light emitting diode. So the applications of laser includes it is used in optical fiber communication, the LEDs and LCDs are used in television. So the advantages of laser over LED is it provides higher bandwidth and higher data rate, and it also provides higher output. Nothing but output power will be more in the case of laser. Longer lifetime, it is wrong. It is cheap or easily available, it is also a wrong statement. So the corresponding statement that is going to follow is A and B. Nothing but option 2 is going to follow. 27th question, the device which is used for detecting light intensity is, we know that we are going to make use of photodiode in order to detect light. So this photodiode, what it is going to do is it is going to convert light to electricity. Nothing but the output will be in terms of current or voltage. So LED stands for light emitting diode and LCD stands for liquid crystal display. The spin diode is similar to avalanche diode. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is option 3 is going to follow. 28th question, the capacitive transducer can be used for the measurement of. We know that any device which is going to convert from non-electrical quantity to electrical quantity, that one you are going to refer it as a transducer. In the process of converting non-electrical to electrical, if capacitance is involved, then it is called as capacitive transducer or capacitance transducer. So it is used for the measurement of pressure as well as displacement. 29th question is based on thermal runaway. We know that BJTs is going to suffer from thermal runaway, whereas MOSFETs is not going to suffer from thermal runaway. So what do you mean by this thermal runaway? Means as temperature increases, collector current also increases, so that biasing, nothing but VBE voltage further increases, thereby a reverse saturation current also increases. So the first option what they have given is heating of the transistor, change in beta which increases with temperature, base to emitter VBE which decreases with rise in temperature. This one will occur in the case of MOSFET. In the MOSFET, VGS is going to decrease if temperature increases, nothing but if collector current increases. First statement what they have given is change in reverse saturation current due to rise in temperature. This statement is correct, nothing but the corresponding option that is going to follow is option 4 is correct, nothing but C is wrong and statement D is correct. 30th question is based on CRT. Important elements of cathode ray tube are given, so you have to arrange in a particular sequence. The first one will be a heating cathode, nothing but a beam of electron you are going to emit via a cathode terminal, nothing but you are going to heat it. So the first block will be heated cathode and the next one will be focusing anode, followed by pre-accelerating anode, followed by accelerating anode. Nothing but corresponding option that is going to follow is option 4 is correct. 31st question, which bit address is assigned to PCON register? So this question is based on 8051 microcontroller. We are going to assign 87H, nothing but option 4 is going to follow. That second question is based on assertion and reasoning. So what is the assertion they are telling is a code converter is a logic circuit whose inputs are bit patterns representing numbers in one code and whose outputs are corresponding representation in a different code. Nothing but if I am making use of a gray to binary, at that time input will be in the form of gray code and output will be in the form of binary code. If I am talking about XS3 to BCD, then input will be in the terms of XS3 and output will be in the terms of BCD. So this is what we mean by a code converter. Code converter is going to convert from one code to another code. So assertion is correct. But what is the reason they are telling is a sequential circuit performs this transformation by means of logic gate. This one is wrong because we are going to make use of combination circuits in order to perform code conversion. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is option 3 is correct, nothing but assertion is true but reason is false. 33rd question what they have given is the purpose of using bleeder resistor across the filter when designing a DC power supply is. First option what they have given is to maintain maximum current for the optimum operation of inductor. Second option is to improve voltage regulation of the supply only. Third option to provide safety of the person handling the equipment only. Fourth option what they have given is both to improve regulation of supply and to provide safety of the person who is handling the equipment. We know that in the case of power supply, we will be connecting the capacitor across it. Now, if you are turning off this power supply, the capacitor will not be discharging at an instant. So, it will be taking some time. So, in order to fasten discharge, what you are going to do is, we are going to make use of a bleeder resistor. We are going to make use of a bleeder resistor and we are going to connect across it. Nothing but we are going to connect in parallel across the capacitor so that it will be getting a discharging path. And the second advantage of using bleeder resistor is to improve regulation of supply. Nothing but option D is going to follow. Bleeder resistor is used to improve regulation of supply and to provide safety of the person who is handling the equipment. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is option D is correct. 34th question is based on assertion and reasoning. If the frequencies are in megahertz range, H parameter, Y, T, Z parameters cannot be measured. This is correct. In the case of microwave range frequencies, only we are going to make use of S parameters. So assertion is true. What the reason they are specifying is short and open circuits are different to achieve or broad band of frequencies, and active devices such as power transistors and tunnel diode frequently will not have stability for a short or open circuit. Even this statement is also correct, and reason is also giving the proper explanation for assertion. So I need to go for option 1. Nothing but assertion is correct and reason is correct. Also reason is giving the proper explanation for assertion. Moving on to the 35th question, you have to list down the active transducer. We know that we will be having 4 active transducer. The first one is thermocouple, photovoltaic cell or solar cell, and the third one is piezoelectric crystal, and the fourth one is pH electrode. Apart from these 4, all the transducers are passive transducer. So photoconductive cell. So photoconductive cell is not an active transducer. Photovoltaic cell and piezoelectric crystal is a active transducer. Even thermistor is also not an active transducer. So statement B and C is correct. The corresponding option that is going to follow is option 2 is correct. 36th question, which of the following are control flags of 8086 microprocessor? We know that flags can be classified into status flags and machine control flag. The status flags are carry flag, parity flag, auxiliary carry flag, zero flag, sign flag and overflow flag, and the machine control flags are direction flag, interrupt flag and trap flag. So direction and trap flags are machine control flags. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is option 2 is correct. 37th question, which one of the following is hybrid parameter, that is H22 of a 2-port network? We know that in the case of H parameters, your V1 and I2, nothing but input voltage and output current are the dependent variables, whereas independent variables are V2 and I1 are the independent variable. So V1 is given by H11 times of I1 plus H12 times of V2. I2 is given by H21 times of I1 plus H22 times of V2. So they are asking us to express what do you mean by H22. H22 equals to I2 divided by V2. When you will be getting means when I1 equals to 0. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is option 1 is correct. 38th question is based on microprocessor. On the list 1, they are talking about bus interface unit, execution unit, instruction pointer and queue. So entire architecture I can split up into bus interface unit and execution unit. What is the use of bus interface unit means? It is used to generate the address. What is the role of execution unit means? It is used to execute the instructions. Arithmetic and logical instructions will be performed. So bus interface unit is responsible for performing all external bus operation, and execution unit is used for, or it is responsible for, decoding and execution of all instruction. Instruction pointer contains the offset logical address of the next byte of instruction to be read from the code segment. What is the purpose of queue means? first in first out buffer that can store up to 6 bytes of instruction code. Nothing but pipelining is going to support in the case of microprocessor 8086. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is option 4 is correct. 39th question, in the figure that is shown below, what is the value of ZL which will cause maximum power to be transferred to the load? So if you want to find the maximum power that is transferred to the load, look at the impedance from this end and you open this ZL. Now when you are looking the impedance at this end, all the voltage sources need to be treated as a short circuit and all the current source need to be treated as an open circuit. So what you will be getting is this 2 plus J2 will be in parallel to this minus J2. So 2 plus J2 into minus J2 whole divided by 2 plus J2 minus J2. So this two terms is going to get cancelled. So you are left with minus J4. J into J is J square, which is minus 1. So I will be getting plus 4 whole divided by 2, which is equals to 2 minus J2 I am getting. So that is the impedance till here. This 2 minus J2 will be in series with J2. So you will be getting 2 ohms. So the ZL value should be equals to 2 ohms so that maximum power will get transferred to the load. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is option C is correct. For the maximum power to be transferred, if the source is of resistive, then the load should be a resistive. If the source is complex and load is resistive, means RL should be equals to under root of RS square plus. So this is very important. If the source is complex, let me represent as ZS, and if the load is a complex, let me represent as ZL. Now what is the impact on load impedance? Means it should be the complex conjugate of source impedance. Always maximum power transfer theorem will be talking about source impedance. It will not be talking about the load impedance because load will be on the user end. If the source is a pure resistive and if the load is a complex, then at least you have to match with the resistance. 40th question, ripple factor of L section filter, ripple factor of inductor filter, percentage of regulation. In the list one they have given. On the list two they have talking about formula. We know that ripple factor is expressed as under root of IRMS divided by IDC the whole square minus 1. Ripple factor of L section filter is given by this formula, that is root 2 divided by 3 into 1 divided by 2 omega C into 1 divided by 2 omega L. Percentage of voltage regulation is given by this formula and ripple factor of inductor filter is given by this formula. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is option 2 is correct. 41st question, in an ion implantation forgot a distribution profile with standard deviation they are given as sigma p. If the total dose is 5, then the peak concentration can be expressed as, it can be expressed as 0.4 times of 5 divided by sigma p. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is option 2 is correct. 42nd question, in a PN junction solar cell under low level injection, that one dimensional continuity equation is given by, we know that it is given by this option, that is Gn minus Np naught divided by tau n, which is a carrier lifetime concentration, plus 1 divided by Q into dou Jn divided by dou n, which is equals to 0. Also it is given by this formula. Instead of writing Np minus Np naught, here I have written Pn minus Pn naught and sign is getting changed. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is option 3 is correct. 43rd question, a sinusoidal voltage is measured by a cathode ray oscilloscope. Vertical distance between the positive peak and negative peak is 8 cm. So peak to peak distance or peak to peak value what they are given is 8 cm. If the scale of the CRO is set at 5 millivolts per centimeter, nothing but you will be having a CRO. So each box value or each box corresponds to 5 centimeter. Each box corresponds to 5 centimeter. Then the peak value of the voltage will be, so they are not asking with peak to peak, they are asking the peak value means what is this value. So what is this value means, you will be getting 8 boxes over here, nothing but 8 centimeter. From ear to ear it is 4 box, nothing but 4 centimeter. So this 4 centimeter multiplied by what is the value of each box? It is 5 millivolt per centimeter. So centimeter and centimeter is going to get cancelled. So I am left with 20 millivolt. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is option 1 is correct. You may get confused with 40 millivolts also. If they are asking for peak to peak voltage, at that time you have to opt for 40 millivolts. Which one of the following is a 16-bit register of 8051 microcontroller? DPL, SBUF, stack pointer, all are 8-bit. PCON is a 16-bit pointer. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is option D is correct. 45th question. In a Zener diode shunt voltage regulator, the diode regulates as long as it is kept in reverse bias. So this is very important topic. We should know the characteristics of a Zener diode. The Zener diode characteristics is similar to normal diode. Under forward bias, under reverse bias, it will be having a small leakage current, followed by the diode will undergo a breakdown, and that is called as a Zener breakdown. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is B is correct, but D is wrong. Nothing but option 2 is going to follow. Question number 46 to 50 is based on control system. So it is all about error analysis. So what they are given is a man is driving a car on the road. The route, speed and acceleration of the car is determined and controlled by driver by observing traffic and road condition. Driver has to manipulate the accelerator, clutch, gear lever, brakes and steering wheel, etc. to control the car. Speedometer is provided on the panel to display actual speed. Junctions of routes are having light which is indicated by green signal or red signal for traffic control. Duration of red and green are preset. Question number 46, what they are given is, in an automobile driving system, the brain of the driver will be acting like an error detector, because you will be having a reference signal over here. This signal is given to a controller and you will be getting an output over here. You will be taking a feedback and this feedback you are going to provide over here. So the reference signal minus the feedback signal is your error. So this error is detected with the help of brain. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is option A is correct. 47th question, what they are given is, traffic signal system is a proportional and on-off control system, proportional and derivative control system, proportional integral and derivative control system, on-off control system. We know that traffic signal system is similar to on-off control system, nothing but whether it is red or whether it is green. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is option D is correct. 48th question, following statements are given regarding the above passage. What they are given is, automobile driving system is an open loop control system. No, it will be having a feedback, or the person will be gauging the traffic. So it is a closed loop control system. Traffic signal is a closed loop control system. Traffic signal is a open loop control system. Nothing but irrespective of vehicle density, a red signal as well as green signal will be switched or it will be flipped automatically. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is B and D statements are correct. Nothing but option 4 is going to follow. 49th question, in an automobile driving system, eyes of the driver acts as error detector, summing block, visual to feedback loop, feedback gain. So it will be acting like a visual link to feedback loop. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is option C is correct. 50th question, the last question, in an automobile driving system, function of an actuator is being performed by, it is performed by accelerator as well as brake. So this accelerator is used to increase the speed and brakes are used to decrease the speed, so that vehicle movement can be precisely controlled. So with the help of accelerator and brakes, we are going to navigate the system from one place to another place. So the corresponding option that is going to follow is option C is correct. In the previous video, I have discussed question number 1 to question number 25. In this video, I have discussed question number 26 to question number 50. In the next part of my video, I am going to discuss question number 51 to question number 75. If you have followed the lecture, please give it a big thumbs up. Also, share this video with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to my channel Craving Gyan. All the best for your exams. Thank you.